In the 1950s, in the tiny town of Porterdale, Georgia, a young Betty Faith Jaynes first considered the sport of basketball. Her mother, who was also her piano teacher, feared injury. But what she couldn't foresee was that Betty wouldn't just play basketball. She would transform the sport and touch the lives of millions. After landing a position on the physical education faculty at Madison College in 1968, she jumped at the chance to coach the women's basketball team in 1970.
I think what she did for our team is she professionalized it. It really became a very important thing in their lives, and the athletes seemed really happy with her.
When I first got there, I had problems with a roommate because being a minority, a lot of people didn't want to room with me. And a lot of people didn't know, but Betty Faith, finally got me settled in. And she was just amazing for me.
She talked a lot about how to keep them as a family, keep them working together as a family, and she did an awful lot of things for them.
She cared so deeply, not just about me as a basketball player, but about me as a person. When I finished here, I had no idea what I was going to do. And I get this call from the school system, and they said, your coach told us about you. And I thought, really? And she goes, yeah, we really would like you to come in for an interview. We have a teaching job and a coaching job for you. And I thought, huh? They called me and offered me a job. So my teaching job was because of Betty Jaynes, and I was there for 36 years. And it was all because of her.
Jaynes and her mentor, Dr. Leotis Morrison, were instrumental in bringing the Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women National Basketball Championship Tournament to Harrisonburg in March of 1975. Jaynes served as tournament director and also coached her own state champion Madison College team in the 16-team event, facing off against three-time national champion Immaculata in the first round.
But going into that game, Betty Faith had us all believing we could win. We never went into the game. I didn't go into that game thinking, oh my God, we're gonna get killed. She had us believing. That was the neat thing. I don't care who we played, she had us believing.
Though her team didn't win that day, it was the kind of can-do spirit that typified Jaynes' career. Like directing that national tournament and overseeing the first ever sellout national championship game as Delta State handed the mighty Macs their first loss in 4 years. But times were changing. Congress had passed the landmark Title IX legislation in 1972, and by 1980, the NCAA was looking to supplant AIAW. Legendary North Carolina State coach Kay Yow sought to find someone to give coaches a unified voice in what was to come.
Betty was the one that Kay and I zeroed in on. This is the lady that has what we need. A coach, a successful coach, someone who could reach out, a consensus builder.
So in 1982, Jaynes left JMU to establish the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. What greeted her was an enormous challenge.
Betty, we have no office, we have no money, we have no members, and we need a convention in March.
Jaynes delivered. Nearly 100 coaches attended the first WBCA convention, and the organization grew steadily to more than 5,000 members today, and it grew the game right along with it.
The WBCA meant a lot to me. The first convention that we attended, and in conjunction with the Final Four, I thought I had died and gone to heaven.
The coaches needed a way to talk with each other, ask each other questions, strategize together. They needed a voice in the way the game was going to be played. They needed a voice on how the NCAA was going to govern, how the media was going to cover it. And a coaches association gave them that.
Each year, something new that would help a coach be a better coach, that would help the program grow. that would make women's basketball more visible.
And Betty was relentless in making this organization work and making this organization be a service organization that provided all of these resources. You know, we're going to be just as proud of the things that we do for our high school coaches, our junior college coaches, our NAIAW coaches, Division 3, 2, 1. You know, everybody matters. And that's kind of who Betty was.
I can't say enough about her kindness and her authenticity and her ability to meet everybody where they were, find common ground, and her accessibility.
It was those human qualities that made Jaynes special, made the WBCA thrive, and helped the game of women's basketball grow in quality of play, sponsorships, media coverage, and fan enthusiasm. Jaynes served as WBCA Executive Director until 1996 when she was named CEO of the organization. She retired in 2001 but continued to serve as consultant until her death in 2014. Jaynes was inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in 2000 and was honored by the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame with its John Bunn Lifetime Achievement Award in 2006. She is also a member of the Virginia and Georgia Sports Halls of Fame.
I would give so much if Betty Jaynes, and Margaret Wade and Kay Yao and Pat Summitt and Billy Moore were here today to see what has happened in women's basketball, not just college but and professionally. It's exploded, it's visible, everyone is talking about the women's game, and they would love it. And Betty would be right in the middle of cherishing every moment. She would be clapping, she would be encouraging, and above all things, she would be smiling because all of her work had paid off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the James Madison University Athletics Hall of Fame is Betty Faith Jaynes. Please welcome Betty's nephew, Jack Moss.